Here's your raffle ticket to get for them.
And B, they said they fine.
Oh, okay.
Make sure y'all get some delicious hot burgers on the plate over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me lotion this dark skin so this melanin can stay glistening. Like stars that are sparkling, we shine in distant spaces with shades of faces in all places. Despite the lack of embraces from other races, we break out the box the world encases with kingdom traces embedded in our genes as we sit upon thrones as kings and queens. Coarse hair creating coarse hair, segregated like marching figurines. Unity comes through community, steady deepening the self-esteem of a people, steady widening, enlightening the minds of youth. Hungry for truth forbidden. See, when you are the future of a past rewritten, you become just another word in the incomplete sentence with no repentance of a history stricken. But regardless of the shadow they cast, they cannot keep our history hidden. So we loose the noose on nostalgic truths, those who wrote the books steady tighten. But you see, the thing here about melanin, it contains the only darkness that brightens. The light in cannot be extinguished. Out of the distinguished can power not be relinquished. Because we have proven that you can put us in chains with all the remains systemic racism contains, and rise is what we do, just as the word spoken by Dr. Maya Angelou. You can blast stereotypes out of stereotypes that beat and repeats the prejudices increase, and rise is what we do for every unarmed us that you slew. Rise is what we do for every Trayvon Martin that you pursue. Rise is what we do. You see, we could have sieged the Capitol too, but we refuse to let your hypocrisy engage. Let the song of your bullets sing out your rage. Because what we all understand, that if the Capitol was being stormed by the black man, oh, how your silver bullets would sing a different tune as they pierce through the fleeing wolves, now howling at the moon, crying out in agony with their pain repeated in uploads and shares. How the world would have witnessed our sons and our daughters laying dead upon those Capitol stairs. But rise is what we do. You see, we cannot wait to be risen by you. So despite these happenings, we keep re-examining, we keep imagining that we can rise together with you. Because you see, our resilience is embedded in our melanated brilliance that glistens even without lotion spread across this dark skin. This blackness was not our sin, but a gift of God embedded within. And his title is Melanin.
All right.
You know, I'm still learning how my brother is to be kept, how to be his tissue for the tears left unwept, from yesterday's sorrow swept under the covers of the bed in which he slept. He would creep his weep so his idea of manhood wouldn't seep through the cracks found deep within the secrets his pride would keep. Yet his vices gave the world a peep, as his technique is to drown his frown in waves of liquid-induced critiques. Yet his technique is to drown his frown in waves of liquid-induced critiques. Yet his inebriation mutes truth's retaliation. His life is full of the loudest abbreviations to words that define his somber heart in paragraphs full of fragmentations. Thoughts that remind him why he pours in to numb in. He smiles out to suppress the rage from spilling out. He said, "Is this what life's about?" He questioned with a shout. No answer from God's chosen could appease him, no matter how devout. Though he once believed, life soiled his faith with doubt. Because no God could love a man and give him this much trouble. No, not this amount. But the responsibility is improperly shifted when the head of a prideful man is foolishly tilted toward the sky as his God convicted for the very sin that left him addicted. God, I pray that to him you will be acquitted for the very sin that left him addicted. God, for every prayer regarding him that I have submitted, I pray he knows you are not the one who drifted. You were present in those moments that birthed his addiction, a safe place for him to hide from his affliction, a God who love expands beyond the world's description because your love is not confined within tribulation's jurisdiction. You are my brother's keeper, God, and many brothers struggle with how to be kept by you, especially when life hands us challenges we can't seem to subdue. So we pile what we want to be hidden under the coldest bodies of broken women with endless streams of liquid prisons bound to drugs that medicate his condition, relationships broken by generational division. Because he's sinning to prove he can't be forgiven. Because he can't reach high enough, God, for your recognition. This is his condition, starvation from spiritual malnutrition. You are my brother's keeper, God, and to you do I render. The wholeness of the man I tried to carry do I surrender. Because you, God, in the magnificence of your divine splendor, can keep the man who returns to you, his divine sender. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, boo. His penis is what my pen is. Spilling its ink over blank pages and calligraphy stages while he emphasizes his print. He starts with an indent as words extract pieces of him like lint. You see, his focus is merely a hint of the strength his penis lent by the percent of self-esteem that is portioned by pinches as his power dwells in erected hardness that is measured in inches. Penis poems packed with cringe and innuendos about crawling in your windows, to dive in your window, to read you like a novel before the crescendo. Yet, how deep can one go with his humility hidden behind zippers and ego, pride unmatched like vitiligo, while I vent till I grow, vent till I know is not so black and white. Because when the penis drains his ink, it bursts chapters to his story, future history he can't rewrite. But when the penis possesses the might, it is the mind that loses the fight, retrieving thoughts from brain that stimulate the head that drives him to pain. As he drains his emptiness into the valley of the equally empty terrain, he got sheets for seas, but vocabulary won't spit them out. The tongue swallows the nouns, the adjectives describes the route he takes to facilitate just enough pleasure to eliminate the self-loathing the duty of the penis associates with pleasure such hurt cannot rehabilitate. But pain does not discriminate when the penis is used to liberate him from the hurt that did not originate in the part of the flesh that flesh can stimulate. So he bleeds his seeds onto women who offer themselves as stationary, where he scribbles the worst parts of himself across bodies that lay stationary, motionless, emotionless, words slurred, suck his diction, stuttering through an internal war of words that offer him fiction, reading he can battle any addiction using the tool that brings him the most friction. He learned his only weapon is the sword of flesh that dangles between his legs. He plunges it into the souls of women, entangling them within his web, trapping her to believe that his genius is within his penis, so she can feel incomplete with his incompleteness and clean with his uncleanness, to only feel filthy when she realizes the penis isn't so prestigious, especially when it's worshipped by others he deems religious. Call it delicious when she eats his words like they're nutritious, an essay of seeds spread across his expedition. Yet his rendition pleasurizes what his father left written in the story titled Hurt in the File marked Hidden. You see, my sisters, the difference between a man who just has sex with you and a man who makes love to you is not measured by the penis you let inside of you, but the direction his heart is turned towards you. Because a man who just has sex with you and a man who makes love to you acquire movements that appear the same. Oh, but when he is done with you and his heart beats for you, I assure you that perspective will change. Thank you. All right. How y'all doing tonight? All right. We got got some poets ready to poet, right?
Right.
Yes.
All right. All right, so first up, our next poet possesses the extraordinary ability to transform pain into poetry and truth into beauty. Please give a warm round of applause to Vance Johnson. Viance, I'm sorry. Viance Johnson.
Attention, attention. Is that all you seek? Look, hold, people beneath your feet? What kind of attention do you seek? The kind that draws in the crowd? The kind that can never make you smile? The kind that always leaves you with a frown? Is the attention worth it? Fighting with yourself to know? Lying to yourself for show? Telling everyone you're fine when you're just ready to go? Letting go for the attention that only lasts a short while though? That kind of attention isn't worth it. Being torn up inside from the times you've tried. Can't decide if you should ride. When you ride, you feel like you want to die. Attention, attention. You give it to a boy. This boy has had your attention once, twice, 3 times before. He doesn't listen when you talk. He doesn't listen when you roar. You know, giving attention to someone who only wants it once, twice, 3 times before he leaves, before he goes, he left and fucked your soul. The attention isn't worth it. This you know. The attention causes problems that make you emotional. They make you sad, not glad. They make you depressed and stressed. Know you this, the attention isn't worth it. It leaves you latched, it leaves you attached, thinking that you had someone to love you like that, hugging and cuddling, giggling and grinning, having fun until the time to return to reality. The dream is gone. You relapsed again. What have you done? You have given him power when he should have had none.
Come on now. Woo. That's it.
Mysterious, yet so informative. Describing what cannot be explained with words. Shrouded in clouds, elusive by nature. Taking a form with the sexiest of faces. Drawing in curiosity from all different places. Standoffish to the world, noticed by those who see through. Thinking of the elusiveness is just another way of saying I'm thinking of you. Night to day and day to night. Some reason you're the only thing on my mind. Distraction lasts as quick as they come. Not very long and not very fun. Every situation brought back to you. My subconscious tells me I should pursue. Ignoring it seemed to hold true until I got a visit that night from you. Baffled, I should say. Yes, an exquisite word for it. Something to come in my most vulnerable moments. Lying still as the door stopped, moving with the dead, and still somehow you popped in my head. Weeks go by with the expectation of sleep, all because that is the only time we meet. Dreams of the future and what I want to be, something I did not think would happen to me. After years of not taking anybody seriously, from fear of hurt or disbelief, one with no hope for the romance I seek had once again started to dream. Dream of a mystery, unknown to all. Dream of a bond stronger than hell's hound dogs. Lost in thought, I wanted to see if I was not the only one willing to meet. Building up courage was no small feat, asking mystery itself to explain to me. Explain the things that make it be. Teach the ways of its history. Once I asked with hopeful eyes, yet soon they were filled with tears and sighs. The courage I had built up like Pompeii was destroyed. From a single word, my thoughts disturbed, forcing me to see my fantasy of we could never become reality to me. Wanted to know why that is, all that time I spent on this. Wondering if I had done something wrong when all I wanted to do was sing a song. Sing of the courage, the heart and the brains it took to ask the mystery to let me have a look. Hearing the reply, oh yes, it had me shook, and it made me realize that the Wizard of Oz was a more open book. All but giving up on hope of the thought trying to keep you off my heart. The more I tried, the less it worked. Like a leech, the thought was inert, draining me slowly of my interest in man, only focusing on what's at hand. So once again, I asked the mystery for a peek. No shocker there, it's on repeat. This time, however, I won't give in. This time, I won't let despair win. I will keep trying as long as it takes till I feel all the blood that this leech takes. Thinking of it knowing that in my dreams is not what is happening now. Dreaming big is the only way I know how. So till the time that my dreams end, I guess it's up to me to try and be mystery's friend. So till the end, even if it hurts, because that's what, in the end, is the struggle is worth. Rising from the ashes, the disparity of grief, crawling through the trenches of guilt and heat, reaching to the light, the champion's peak, the dark horse no one knew existed. Hidden in the trenches, dancing with the winches, trying to get by with the sad existence you call life, looking for the opportunity you can use to rise, to show everyone that shine, that twinkle you have in your eyes. The trials thrown your way seem too heavy of a burden to bear, sometimes brought you to tears of despair. Backed in a corner, you look around and see no one there, fighting tooth and nail just to make it fair. Must rise above, the rest to make it clear. You are not a weakling, your intelligence should be feared. Taking on the challenge to show your might, letting the world know you won't go down without a fight. Looking around again, someone sees your might. The world's burdens have not tarnished the light that continuously grows in spite of the loss, in spite of the past, in spite of everyone who thought you couldn't last. The harsh changes of the world, the reality of the past, the hope for the future, you who can look back and laugh. The mountains you move, the cliffs you've jumped, many times lost in the sun. Blinded when you stare, shadowed when you stay. Sometimes you even lose your way. For every time you fell down hard, you got back up stronger. A timid little bird turns into a soldier, ready to fight until it's all over. Turning around to take a look down at the path you created to get to now. A place you never thought exists. Taking chances for your redemption, passing through tribulations, levels, and trials. At one point making yourself look like a clown. You came in first in front of a crowd. Hearing the cheers roar through the crowd, lifting your spirit because they know now you are the champion who knows no bounds. Hero of your story, a champion of old. You will always rise again for the future you've sowed.
Come on. Come on, man. Come on, y'all, give it up. Come on, give it up. And it is Viance. Viance. That is a beautiful name, if I can just say it. Viance, that was amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so prepare to be amazed by a poet who can make silence sing and turn thoughts into a dance of words. Let's welcome to the stage Kre8ive McKinley. All right, keep it going out. Keep it going out.
How y'all doing tonight? How you doing? Whew, y'all just got off work. I'm like, I gotta make it. I'm happy to be here. So I'm gonna do an introduction piece and then I'm gonna do another piece. That's cool, y'all?
That's cool.
Okay. I'm gonna just warm the mic up a little bit. Bold and optimistic, live, loud and artistic, melanin and gifted, eyelashes and lip gloss popping, long fingernails to carry my black ink pen where I use it to write stories of girls who grew up just like me. 13, a lot going on at home, but we all have dreams. And when you finally get to see, it's like a beautiful vision in a night. I love myself, so my reflection talks to me nice, and I don't be with all the hype, and I flow with what's right. Diamonds form under pressure, but pressure busts pipes. It takes courage to be authentic, and whoever real gon' feel it. And you ain't never got to be something that you're not. It's about what's in your heart and your mind. It ain't all about what you got. That's that piece. All right. Yeah. I walk like I have gold on the bottom of my feet. I set fire to a stage whenever I speak. My presence demands respect. How y'all doing? They call me Justice Key. And I appreciate the simplicity. How a smile can say what a million words couldn't, and how a simple hug can fix what mama words couldn't, and how through him I still live, even though I shouldn't. Because even in bad times, God's word is still honest. Like even in rough times, God's word is still a promise. So I plant this seed, this fruit from my lip, because even if I don't show the best of me, he is always showing the best of him. My past ain't half the lies they told them. I've been destined for greatness. which means my enemies have yet to comprehend it. So whatever doors he opened, no man can close it. My vision be moving mountains like David and that giant, and if history was to repeat itself, I would be the next to touch the hem of his garment. Not to be cocky, but I'm leaving you something to boast with. I'm the one opening windows saying it's okay to still dream because some dreams will keep you alive. Yes, some dreams won't let that fire die, and nothing beats a failure but a try. So stand up, little sister, wipe your eyes, don't cry, and believe you can fly, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And even though life doesn't come with a manual, every angel has his wings. I said, God, I hope that you're impressed with the gift that you blessed me with. And he said, it's all I ever expected. So even if you don't like it, it's still accepted. I be who I be, so just do what you do. Judgment is for the weak, so which one is for you? I just dropped the haiku. Now who say justice ain't a poet? Don't you ever question my skills again. My gift was passed down by God's hands and passed down through my dreams. Don't be mad because I believe in me. Don't be mad because I too believe in another sister's dream. Because growing up, nothing was beautiful about being plus size, brown skin, and melanin. But we have redefined the definition. I'm your sister keeper justice, and you better know it. Come on, girl. So usually, y'all, when I speak, I've been speaking for a long time. I've been speaking since I was 14 years old. I'll be 33 next month. Thank you. And usually when I speak, I go speak to women and girls. So I speak at a lot of conferences and a lot of women's seminars. But I see that the crowd, we grown, right? Everybody here grown? Okay. So I got one more piece for y'all, then I'm gonna get out y'all way. I once heard that good pussy will not heal his trauma or mature him fast enough to fix the issues with the women in his life, like his mother and his baby mama. Hurt people hurt people. See, peace is not complicated enough for a person who feeds off drama. You can't even hold that type of person accountable because they need to be the victim. Preaching about needing love but never got the hate out of that system. Broken promises since you met them. And he interrupted your healing. He could really identify as a villain, but that's just too much truth to face. So dealing with his issues, as a result, he pushes you away. And that's not your problem to fix. But for the people we love, we play therapists, knowing that nigga could use an appointment for real. You showed up for love, and he showed up for the vibe and the thrill. Two different assignments. So it's a different level of urgency. And a woman's favorite thing to say is he used me, but never say that I allow myself to be misused. I misuse, this person will misuse. And I like him a little because he can hit a high note, but he really had me singing the blues. Because a person raised off love and a person raised off survival looks at life with non-identical values. So you pouring and he's sipping and you sipping and you pouring, and then you realize that the glass is half empty. And you realize energy is not being reciprocated. So not even a basics, like a genuine conversation. So what does it matter if you can make my body ache, legs spin, and head spin? If after our encounters it's making me feel lifeless within. Come on now. Actually going home to question my work, because he needed a place to dump his hurt. Treading on love but scared to indulge. I bet I'm one of the most beautiful women that you ever got to encounter. But you can't express how you feel. Your throat chakra is blocked, thinking this shit is voodoo, nigga, this shit is real, and you running. But I ain't chasing, elevated, because I'm a prize too. And I ain't raising nobody's son. It's your mama's job to do.
Give it up again for Kiana. Kiana came up here and said, my name. Shocked me a little bit. All right, so all the poets, if y'all can just follow my hand, look right back at the wall and you'll see a green light. Right? So each poet has about 4 minutes to perform. If you look at that light and it is green, that means you're good to go. Yellow means that your time is wrapping up, and red means that your time is up. So please respect the mic and pay attention to that light, please. All right. All right, so please welcome a poet whose words flow like the most eloquent of rivers, creating waves of emotion that reach every listener's heart. Ladies and gentlemen, come into the stage. Let's give a round of applause to Derek Owens. All
right, y'all good? Yes, sound dry as hell. Y'all good? I host 7 different open mics, so I am about that life, so don't be dry with me. Goodness. So y'all good? Yeah. Right, thank you, that's what I want. I'm sensitive about what I do. So, real quick, I host an open mic in the Delmar Loop called Lyrics in the Loop every Tuesday. Doors open at 7, starts at 8, and guess what? It's for free, so just show up.
I'ma show up.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do this and then I'm gonna just be out. It's easy to quit and easy to throw in the towel when you don't want to finish the fight. But it's so hard to still keep faith and believe in God who you can't physically see, but yet say spiritually you've seen. It's easy to gossip and easy to complain, easy to moan and groan and beg like you have forgot his name holds weight and power. No wonder some of y'all look like lemons because you feel sour. Can I be honest? Sometimes I hate being black. Because even after all the adversity of being enslaved, we are supposed to be walking with freedom, but still close our minds like we are enslaved, wondering how long do shackles tend to break your brains before now you realize your cell phone got you mentally enslaved because your phone is a cellular, got you enslaved. No wonder why my people are enslaved to be media posts. But can't post testimonies about what God does in miraculous ways. I am now believing it's hard to save somebody that still don't want to be saved. I get it. Some people ain't gonna like what I say because I'm a PKG, and I understand sometimes that you gotta bring God to the places that people don't want to come to the most. I've been there before, I get it. But I'm smart enough to know I won't feed you the truth unless you really open your ears to hear it. God ain't never been a man that would force himself unless you really want it. Trust and believe. Some of my opponents hate the fact I've already claimed victory because I know if he could take somebody who was eating out of dumpsters and still giving him poetry, later on he would be a prophet, poet, and a pastor. All 3 P's of these degrees. I ain't letting no devil stop me from who I'm called to be. Ain't that ironic how God saved the prostitute just by bending down and changing her constitution with his finger in the dirt while they was prophesying over her that she was shaking and gyrating and twerk, and then said, "Woman, where is your accuser?" And then she looked around and realized that if there was none, he said, "I won't accuse you. Either go and sin no more." People, why are y'all still stuck in your ways as if you want to be smothered like s'mores? How long before God has to rain down manna to show you got the keys to the door? You have not because you ask not. I mean, life and death is in the power of your tongue, so the more you complain, do you know you giving the devil too much more to reign? Oh, I forgot, y'all too saved because you don't want to hear the truth, right? I mean, some prayer, some power. Little prayer, little power. Much prayer, much power. So to whom much is given, much is required. But I guess when you're given much, you forgot your requirement. No wonder why your self-esteem and your spirit, man, got the lowest higher. Okay, it's too quiet. I must be talking to somebody who understands. Faith is not the substance of what you can physically see. It's what you don't see but already know behind the smoke screen you're touching what you said you want it to be. Or maybe I'm just ironically crazy because I understand faith is a spiritual currency. See, my bank account is full and I lack for nothing. I just wake up and say, "God, you promised it." So all of my scriptures are my prescriptions to all of my situations. I could docket stamp it and approve it with his blood and his done penmanship. Why do you think he said write the vision and make it plain on the tablets of your heart so you can run with it? It's the reason why sometimes, Black Queen, that dream is meant for you when nobody else can understand what you're going through. Because he never brought a council meeting to go for you. It was just him, the Son, and the Spirit on only you. That's why some people can't understand the inheritance in you, because all they want is a blessing, but don't know how to touch the hem of a garment that'll get them through. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to be a preacher, but I already know I come from generations of preachers. I'm just trying to really speak so that you'll understand. Stop looking for people to uplift you when he already lifted you with his right hand. See, that's the problem. We be looking for people to uplift us, and I'm not doubting nobody for lifting you, but sometimes you got to learn how to sew your way out of your own situation until God will send the rescuers to lift you. Sometimes you got to know how to be an eagle and see your future even while the storm is hitting you. That's the difference between a chicken and an eagle. An eagle will go high in the sky, high in the cave, tear off his beak, old feathers gone, so when the sun shines, it's a new thing to see.
Come on now.
But that's just me, because I already know. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, but I've already seen because he showed me in his word that if I just come to him humbly, turn from my wicked ways, he would turn this thing around for me. He said, son, she's your good thing, and she's the virtuous woman that'll make you look good before great kings. I learned to make it right with my mama and 4 sisters, so eventually I would find my good thing. My good thing came to the open mic scene. April 16th, I asked her out September 3rd, and now all of a sudden, she's the next Mrs. Poetry plus 7 to be, so when I give birth to my seed, I'll name that one Masterpiece. I'll name that one Masterpiece because it was an epiphany and a prophecy that I already knew that child would be a legacy. So now do you see why God puts you in crazy situations? So you could be crazy enough to exclaim to somebody that you ain't ashamed of what he does for you, so eventually the more you boast on him, he makes more room for you to boast on him, to keep making more room to boast on him. So can I give you a seed for free before I leave the scene? Brag on him and watch what he brags on you.
That's what you call blessing the mic. Yeah. Listen, I was watching that light. I was like, if you put that red light on and that thing, I was watching. I was like, he gonna have to answer for that. But that was my Lord, that was amazing. That was amazing. All right, so. Get ready to witness a master of language, a poet who weaves everyday experiences into pure magic in every verse. Give it up for Kayla Bone. I don't know why I said your last name like that. I was like, Bone.
So, I just want to say, first of all, oh my goodness, those of you that have performed just so far,
Yes.
my heart. Oh, I'm just so grateful to witness. So beautiful. I have been writing poetry for a long time, but I've only performed in front of people like 2 times ever. And I'm working on my confidence and my presence. I don't got it like y'all, but I'm gonna get there.
Don't say that. You got it.
Okay.
I can tell by that shirt you got it.
I got the style, man. I got the style.
Let's go, poet.
I will love you like I love the flowers. You'll bring me light like they hold, encapsulated in their petals. I'll smile in your presence and tell you you're beautiful, that I appreciate you, adore you, and that you're magic, delicate, intricate, sacred, art. You'll remind me of the goodness, the innocence, the joy, the hope, the faith, the love I've never found. I will love you like the flowers, speak life into you, light into you, gaze at you with wonder and admiration. Even when your colors change and you become a shade of decay, I'll always remember your beauty. I'll honor you in life, in death, in between the light and the darkness, in every dimension of time and space.
Yeah.
I am the dream forgotten upon waking. You can't make sense of what you can't comprehend. A love so strong, it bewilders, breaks, open, leaves marks long after it's left. It never really leaves you. The deja vu that haunts you, the song you can't get out of your head. The moment you rewind and replay and wish you could change. The hope you let slip through your fingers. The lock you lost the key to. A lesson of the heart I pray that you learn and don't repeat. We are parallel lines running through the same city but never meeting. Two forest fires causing destruction miles apart, spreading, scorching the earth, but never close enough for the flames to unify. Two trees that reach for each other but can't touch. Children chasing rainbows that never end. Two candles glowing in such a dark place we couldn't help but see each other's light. But now lost, turning endless corners in a maze of the mind and shadows that block us from the sun. I hope we find the way out, solve the puzzle, put the pieces together, because I know they fit. I hope our flames merge and become one with the eternal sacred fire of all that is. I want to lick the corners of your mind, make love to your intellect, kiss your soul. Your mind is a museum, and I want to explore every inch, every piece, every angle, imbue myself with the colors and energy, revel in the ecstasy that your existence, your coming to me, and my coming to you has brought to my world. You are infinite bliss, eternal love. The flowers bloom in your eyes, and the cosmos burns in your heart. Sunshine flows through your veins, and galaxies burst from your fingertips. You are the light you've searched for. I don't name most of my poems, but this one has a name. It's called Cadence. Is your heart out of tune? Are you loving out of key? Do the notes play in the right sequence? Does the buildup of the rise match the depth of the fall? Is it really falling, or should we call it flying? Does it give your heart the wings you've always wished, shoulders with the angels? I'll always admire the cadence between our souls, the way the rhythm of our hearts and minds learn to flow together, the progression we create, sections and pieces of growth and healing, transcendence, ascension, coming together and intertwining in perfect timing, sounding like grace and hope, moving from dissonance to consonance, discord to the most perfect harmony, the melody of us always ending in the most divine resolution, music to my ears, we are my favorite song. Yeah, I wasn't very prepared, that's all I got. Oh, look, it's right, that's right. I did the whole 4 minutes.
Give it up again for Kayla, who stood up here with that shirt on, talking, I want to lick the corner. You did wonderful, poet. You did wonderful, poet.
Thank you.
All right, just a trigger warning for this next piece that I'm going to do. It can be perceived as a little bit of a dark piece, but it's just a piece that talks about trauma. It is a piece that also talks about freedom, talks about healing, talks about forgiveness, and this piece is titled Scream. It only took a moment for me to be trapped within the memories I'm sure he'd revisit. It's a truth that I wanted to tell, but I knew that he would never admit to it. He wrote me into the chapters of his story while soiling the pages of my entire book. With a permanent marker, each sentence of him bled into every subject no eraser took. I carried him into a multitude of my tomorrows because not a single yesterday could support the fall of a man realizing the fingerprints of another left deeper impressions after all. He still hurt as he did on that day when that man used his hand to molest a boy's innocence away. I learned to forgive him, even though I never heard him ask. They lied when they said the freedom was in the letting go of the comfort found in the grudge I'd often bask. Though forgiving was trying, it was far from the most difficult task, which was dealing with the pain my smile would desperately attempt to mask. It's okay to forgive him too, God, because all men need to be redeemed. Even the man who birthed a voice within me, and that man still failed to hear me. Ah! Scream from the inside. When the pressure meant to break a boy's heart was applied. Pick up the pieces, Jeremy, yes. I tried, but the pieces that are scattered inside do not come with a guide, at least one that instructs a man with a heart where a broken boy still abides. They said, pick up the pieces, Jeremy. I told you I tried, but the pieces are sharp and cut deep on the side where hurt and healing collide. Besides, society doesn't offer a man the space to break. They rather see him break others by the pieces of him his trauma would often penetrate. But who are they to create a prison built by toxic masculinity that imprisons every man that dares give voice to the trauma their hearts just couldn't take? Because every never cried tear has weight as it dreams to escape the eye gate that held it for decades as an inmate. Freedom wasn't in forgiving him. It was addressing the severity of the wound he inflicted. Freedom was gathering all the words I hoarded in the home of my heart that left me addicted to punishing myself by the good relationships I evicted. Because the magnitude of the pain that man left was mentally encrypted, sending a warning that men could only be to me with my molester depicted. But how twisted to be molested repeatedly by the memories of a single moment that remained revisited. But I insisted, if my spoken revelation leads to further unspoken humiliation, I'll learn to deal with emotional constipation to appease a world that rejects a man's emotional regurgitation. Because they say, chew it. Jeremy, just chew it and then swallow. And no one will know the spiritual indigestion that follows. Because every tear is a sentence traveling along the face of the driest desert, hoping to be read before it disappears. Because who knows, it may take years before another volunteers to be the voice of a pain that is bursting at my spiritual seams, all because I listened to a world that learned to ignore the sound of a man's ah! Scream. From the outside too. You see, stuff happens and maybe it's supposed to assist in defining you. Resilience has become my favorite word, but it does not eclipse the word of God that tells me he sees through this warrior's facade. Because when I finally brought my pain to his throne, my scream, it took on a different tone. I no longer had to be the harvest from the seeds another man had sown, and I made this known. I am no longer his prey. Sometimes the worst part about being victimized as a child is renewing the part of your mind that still believes you are a victim today. Addressing the voice stuck, conveying the decaying heart even my offspring were displaying. And forgiveness was not me betraying, but I tired of obeying those thoughts that said, oh, those thoughts I'm to always be replaying. But he quieted once he heard me say that if I truly believe God forgives all sins, that even our molesters must be tossed away. The weight of every tear I cried privately, I did not have to carry alone. You see, all that trauma God had already known and how it works for my good, he has now shown. Because I can stand here today, my Lord, and convey in my own poetic way, my Lord, that I have been made free. And I look forward to sharing in heaven, even if it's with the man who once molested me. Yes. Maybe that's freedom. Maybe that's healing, and to some of you, maybe that's somewhat extreme. But by his grace, for once in my life, I don't feel the need to scream. Woo! You're right. All right. So stepping up to the mic is a poet whose verses echo deep within, turning his life complexities into soulful expressions of truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Destiny. Keep it going. it going, keep it going.
How everybody doing today? Okay. Alright, so this piece is very heartwarming to me. We all know someone who have went through it. So here it goes. In shadows deep where fears take flight, a battle rages, a relentless fight. We stand as one, fierce hearts ablaze, for every moment in all of our days. With whispered hopes that tear the night, we gather strength to face this flight. Each scar a story, each tear a vow. We'll rise above, we'll show you how. You may strike hard with your cruel hand, but united together through darkness we stand. Love is our amour, resilience our shield. In this war, we will not yield. So here to warriors both brave and bold, to stories unbroken and lives retold. Together we'll shout from valleys to peaks. Fuck cancer, our spirit is what it seeks. Through laughter and tears in moments so raw, we'll cherish the fight, the triumphs we saw. And when sunrise breaks, after long toil snare, let's love light the path for those who still care. Our voices are thunder, watch us ignite. Against all odds, we will win this fight. With hope as our compass and courage as our guide, here's to life lived fully with nothing denied. Okay. You're supposed to be the one to protect me from the hurt and the pain, but yet you're the cause of it all. I don't hate you or have any animosity towards you. I still love you with all of my heart. I'll just have to love you from afar. It's crazy because I have always been a daddy's girl, but now I see the truth in this world. How a father can be so cruel when protecting his baby girl is not the #1 rule.
Come on, Destiny.
All right, so I do have a new poem that I did write. I know it's not PCOS Awareness Month anymore.
Every day.
But it's every day for me. In a garden where the thorns grow tall, whispers of balance flutter and call. Blooming dreams amidst tangled vines. Within me lies strength that gently defines. Cycles twist like worn out threads. Hormones dance in a restless bed. A tempest rages beneath my skin. Yet within it all, the fight can begin. Faint echoes of laughter from distant days, when certainty wrapped around my sunlit rays. Now shadows cast by uncertainties reign, navigating this path through pleasure and pain. Cysts-like secrets linger inside. Each month a battle I keep in stride. I wear resilience as my cloak so bright, finding power in darkness to ignite my light. Beauty blooms not just on the outside face. It thrives in heartbeats, in every embrace. With each breath I gather hope from despair. Together we rise with courage laid bare. So here's to a journey, a winding road that we navigate, hand in hand with grace bestowed. Thank you.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going for Destiny. That was beautiful. It's like the best part of poetry is when you can say a thing and that thing can mean so many different things. That line that you just said for that first, can you give me those first 2 lines for that last poem you just did?
In a garden where the thorns grow tall.
That just made me go, oh gosh, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. It makes me want to lick all the corners of your mouth. All right, now get ready to hear from a poet whose words are like a beacon guiding us through darkness with the light of their truth. Let's welcome Tierra Monet. Come on, dress. Come on, dress.
Hi, how's everybody doing tonight? Good. So, as we know with this past election, I'm dedicating this poem to all the women that lost the autonomy over their bodies. Luckily, it was passed, here in Missouri, and that was a great win, but I want to do this in honor of all the people that lost their autonomy. This poem is called Broken Pussy is Determined by Broke Niggas. Has anybody watched Insecure?
Yeah.
Yes. Nobody wants you because you got a broken pussy, broken pussy. Hey, broken pussy. Maybe it's really rough. Maybe it's had enough. Broken pussy stamped across my forehead. Let everyone know I took him, her, and him to bed. Broken pussy. To be monitored when shared, to be sized up, have the lips, crevices, and clit size declared, and ridiculed, and appraised, and assessed. And of course, it's constructive criticism because constructs don't exist. And there definitely isn't one squeezing women into boxes because we don't need freedom. We just need to keep our legs closed. Make sure we don't wear our pussy out so we can have tight walls and slip and slides that are never in drought because that's exactly how pussy works. The expert virgin said so. And they also said, make sure we carry ourselves right. Let desire trickle out just enough, but not enough that everyone knows that you know what you're doing, but you better be able to suck dick with slick spit in both hands because no man wants a woman who can't get him right. Ain't that right? Like how right it is that our biggest critics ridicule, appraise, and assess, warning the masses of broken pussies, yet never seen pussy before in their life. And if they did, let them name the labia correctly and I'll let them off scotch-free. Wouldn't know it if it was in between their legs because it ain't. And God knows that they know that they ain't never had a pussy drain them to the point where they needed to faint or throw up or throw out a couple punches just to get the angst out, but God knows that they think our pussies ought to be monitored and measured, tested and labeled, wrangled into submission and perfectly packaged for consumption, but without all the ugly, without all the hair and the bumps and oh my God, why does her clit look like a hump? And this is not the shit I see online. Yeah, no shit. Because I'm not digitized pixels for your on-demand entertainment. I'm real and I'm me. And this broken pussy got a big heart, takes broken people with broken pieces and stitches them back together, not with fake orgasms and perfect moans, but with the care and empathy I have because of my human brain. But what would you know about that when you think with your dick? And no, I won't say that that's what's broken, though it probably is, because that's some loser shit you're on. But I don't think there's anything broken. I just think you never had an intelligent mind in the first place. And that's okay. Not everyone can be as competent and composed, brilliant and talented as a woman with a broken pussy. This next piece is called Next of Kin. Be glad I am not my father's daughter. For if I was, I would shove it down your throat, crude and unusual and unspeakably large, but no matter, I would force it down anyway, just thrumming down the path of shoving all the things we tiptoe around because it takes up room, hurling it till it claws the airs from your throat and implodes your lungs till your stomach is churning with a burning that threatens to take you over and take you under to drown you. Be lucky I am not my father's daughter, for like water from a river uncontrolled, I would wash you in a sea of all things bitter and angered. I would fold pepper flakes into salt water just so I alone wouldn't be forced to seethe under the burn. And when you refuse to drink no longer, I will plunge your head underwater and scream. And for each cut you bear on your body, I will scream twice more. And for each bruise thrice. And I will scream until there is nothing that you can bear to hear, until every failure reminds you of me. Oh, be grateful. I am not my father's daughter. Because I have been brought up to bring down. I have been molded and folded and stretched into the worst parts of him for his words. Froth and sit at my tongue, his face settles in the midst of my reflection. I am primed and preened to pillage and destroy as I have been taught. Be thankful. I am not my father's daughter. Because this part of me I carry no longer, I relinquish the fluidity of cruelty that once spilled from his mouth into mine, and I package my vengeance with the skin I've cut and torn on his behalf, and I bury it with the dirt that I used to find myself reflected in. I am not my father's daughter.
Wow.
This last one, I'm sorry that these all are so heavy, but this last one is called Grief is to Relive. Today I washed my hands, I worked my fingers over each other and scrubbed at my palms, lathered them in soap. I curled into bed and let my clean hands fall to my face and let their scent envelope my senses. My hands that I had scrubbed of earthly filth clung to the grime I had trapped within my skull and let all the horrific memories seep from my bones and fall onto my shoulders. A melody of cacophony crackling through my skin like burnt electricity, holding me in place to a pain like none I've ever known but come to accept and cope and shake with. I feel and see that with each breath I pull air into my lungs like stone to my heart as it fills and weighs down my core till I am stuck. I am stuck. I am stuck in a bed not with sheets but with grime and dirt and grief and ungiven gifts and swollen eyes and uncertainty and unwillingness to live. I am stuck in a place with popcorn walls holding screams that ricochet from relinquishing a person to a memory. And I am held there against my will, remembering that this state I will never willingly release or come out of, that this state defines a sector of my life that hangs in the balance of time, never to be retrieved or relived or experienced, just forgotten, only released by another smell, encapsulating the fear that I am too cursed and destined to forget what it is to smell once again. Sometimes all I can dream of is damp walls and sticky slope. All I know is a thick sleep of suffocation, being awake and not alive and doomed and hurt and cursed and wicked. All I can feel is everything and nothing of all that has ever happened and will never happen again, coming to haunt me with the memories of being stuck, taped to the floor by the weight of a person I could not carry through my own will, and by the all-encompassing despair that ate away at everything that I was with my dry, clean, dirty, aromatic hands that haunt.
My Lord. And if you say that you thought she was going to come up here and talk about some her broken, you a lie. That shocked me. And put on her good dress and came up here, shocked me. My Lord. Gosh, that was so amazing. And we have not even gotten into our feature poets yet. It's like everybody that has touched this stage is a feature poet. My Lord, y'all have been amazing. My gosh. All right, our next poet turns emotion into motion, making each verse a step toward understanding and healing. Please give a warm welcome to Tasha. All right.
Come on, T. You got it. Come on, T.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
I love your whole fit and your accessories. You need to know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How's everybody doing? The name of this poem is called Peace, Love, and Concern. These are the last days, critical times I have found. Love within myself, peace of mind. I will not be brought down. What the devil's doing, trying to conquer one's mind with his evil, he shall never be ruling. The righteous will arise, the true God Almighty and his army. So beware with the devil, so once again he may not harm me. When I pray to the true God up above, to show him that I have faith and also pure love. When I say, God, let your name be sanctified, and preaching what I've learned, that's why I practice what I preach. Peace, love, and concern. This next one is called Savage Beast. You savage beast is what I call unto thee, 'cause you taunted my mind, my heart, then left it for weak, blinded by your charm, enchanted for your beauty. Why, oh why? Why is for my soul is lonely, for my heart aches with pain. Peace within shall I not retain? For why, you savage beast? My feelings are crushed. Your words were smooth, gentle, warmly touched. Me in your arms, looking deeply within your eyes, whispering softly, was blind, now I see you alive. Being betrayed, alive within you unleashed, I banished, cursed you, you savage beast. Search into the garden of your soul and you will find a gem of priceless beauty, like a jewel that's most divine. Meditate in silence with each breath release, a faith that's filled with magic and a magic filled with peace. For in your quiet moment, you will surely visualize that in this rest of peacefulness, God will unveil a prize that's been unnoticed, like a jewel that has been lost. But now in silent meditation, you can hear his faint response. Like a choir of angels singing for we mortals here below. If we take the time to listen, his miraculous touch will flow free from every corner. The invitation is clear. If we take the time to listen, then God's music you will hear.
I love that one so much, girl. They gave me chills.
This one right here is about pain. And I know a lot of people that went through this. It's pertaining to domestic violence. There's always hope out here. You're never alone. I sit in silence while listening to the raindrops, deep in thought. My heart shatters. Tears slowly fall from my eyes while my heart cries. You say that you love me, but death belongs to thee. And one breath is love, while another breath is hate. I feel your hands wrapped around my throat while fighting for each breath that I take. You say that you love me. I'm wondering, is this going to be the end? Close my eyes in silence until I see the light. Relax. Don't fight. It will come to an end. A horn. I heard God's sounds. He shall send. I gasped for air. Am I alive? My Father is here. He has arrived. And in his whisper, he said, Tasha, you are alive. But you say that you love me. Thinking back, I almost died in the hands of someone who claimed that they loved me.
All right. All right.
Give it up again for Tasha.
Yeah.
That was amazing, amazing, amazing. With her beautiful cheetah print skirt on, calling some savage beast. All right.
Jokes about the clothes.
All right. Have we all seen all of the amazing, stunning, incredible artwork around this room? Yes. And do we all know that down around that corner there is more?
Yes.
So please, if you have not taken a visit and got to see these amazing art pieces, please take a look at them. Also want to mention that there is more to see again in the back room. For those who are curious, each sculpture that was carved from wood and painted black, and all of them are ready to hang. So these sculptures that you see along this wall here. All right. Also, we'll be announcing the winner of the raffle at the end of the show. So we're going to take a 10-minute break, and after which we'll bring up our featured poets. All right. I will see you soon.
That chocolate was so good.
All right, are we ready for our features tonight? Yeah. All right, are we enjoying ourselves?
Yes.
All right, are we enjoying ourselves tonight?
Yes.
All right. Do we have our favorite piece yet, or do they all just kind of blend into your favorites, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, all right, all right. All right, so coming to the stage is a poet whose words dance off the page and leap into your heart, leaving a trail of inspiration behind them. Our first feature tonight, please give it up for Amaya Lanai. Lene. I tried to be fancy.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Good. So once again, I am Amaya Lene, and I pride myself on being a vulnerable poet, meaning I don't necessarily write because I enjoy it, even though I do. I write to journal, and that's how I found poetry, because when I was a kid, you know, kids suppress things, kids have things they don't want to tell their parents. But I told myself, I'm not sitting down here and writing 4 to 5 pages just to get my feelings out. We need to do this quick and efficient. Then I found poetry, and I've been doing it ever since. So this first piece that I'll be sharing is actually, it's some prose. I was listening to Jill Scott one day. She has a song called, I can't remember if it's Honey Molasses or Blackberry Molasses. Which one is it?
Honey Molasses.
Yes, it's Honey Molasses. So I was listening to the song called Honey Molasses, and I don't know, I fell in love with the song and how she talked about this man and how this man made her feel. So then I wrote to the song, and since we're all grown here, I feel comfortable sharing it, so here it goes.
Right.
And this is called Blackberry Honey. I wasn't expecting to feel this way. I had loved before, or at least I thought I had. I love the kind of love that happens fast and loud, like a car crash leaving you bruised and breathless but never quite satisfied. Those were the kinds of love I knew. But this was different. We had been circling each other for months like 2 slow-moving shadows that only touched when the light hit just right. He wasn't into a rush, and I wasn't used to that. Men always wanted to rush, get what they come for and leave before the sun rose, before the messiness of life caught up with them. But he didn't. He moved like molasses, slow and steady, like he had all the time in the world. The night finally touched me. It was like blackberry honey, sweet and dark and sticky, the kind of sweetness that lingers long after the taste is gone. His hands moved across my skin deliberately, like he was tracing lines of a map he had studied but never touched before. His fingertips left a heat in their wake, a slow burn that settled deep inside of me, sinking into places I have not even realized were cold. I had been touched before, sure, but I knew what it was like to be wanted, but this was different because for the first time I was desired. This was something else. He didn't rush and he didn't push. He let me feel everything. He let me savor it like he was teaching me how to love my own body again. He told me to slow down and his voice sounded thick like the honey I had imagined on his lips. And then I knew then that there was no need to rush. And he told me to calm down, and for once I listened, I let go of all the expectations and the things that I thought I knew about love and about men and even about myself. I let him move at his own pace, and I found myself sinking into it and letting the slowness of it wash over me. It was like molasses the way he moved, thick and sweet, covering every part of me in warmth I didn't know I had been missing. He wasn't in a hurry to finish. No, he was there in the moment with me, like he knew this was something you didn't rush through. This is something that you savored, something you felt in your bones. He didn't need to ask me if it felt all right because he knew, and he knew that I knew that this was different. It was love, but it was more than love. It was connection. It was understanding. It was him finally getting it right and me finally letting him in. Ooh. Thank you. I'm glad y'all like that. Sorry to start off spicy. All right, we're moving on to the next one, in which I'm very excited about. So do we all know somebody that's like extremely stubborn and it's like they don't have to be, but they choose to be? Like, you can do the right thing. You can make life easy for me, but you just choose not to. Yeah, this is for people. She talking about me. This is called Straighten You Out. I wish I could comb through you like a hot comb on a Sunday morning, parting your thoughts like hair thick with history, pressing down hard until all that is wild curls back into place. I want to drag the truth through your roots and hear the sizzle of honesty as it straightens you out, as it turns every kink into something I can understand. I would oil your scalp with patience, press my fingers into the places that ache, where you've twisted yourself too tight and too long and you forgot how to let go. I sit you down like your mama used to, pulling at knots that you let grow too deep and too stubborn. I tell you to hold still and let the heat unravel. Everything you thought you needed to kept hidden, and every crooked thought you had tucked behind your ears, but you kept pulling away and you kept turning your head afraid of the burn. Afraid of what it may look like with all your lies pressed out flat. I wish I could straighten you out, but you've got too much pride tangled in your roots and too much history in your strands. And then I think it all makes sense. Maybe some things just aren't meant to be smooth. Thank you. It's always my favorite part when I say something that resonates with somebody. Y'all go, because I'll be like, yeah. All right, how we doing? Y'all still with me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to lighten up the mood. I know we've been a little heavy. And especially after this election, I'm feeling kind of heavy. But this is a piece that I really wanted to share. And this is for all women, but maybe specifically for Black women, because we have a different feeling about how things are about to go in this country and about what life looks like for us. And yeah, so this is just called The Same God. The same God who I prayed to has forgotten my face as it hung from a tree. Surely he has forgotten my name too. My body sways from this tree like a kite in a storm. The noose of trauma is wrapped around my neck and nobody saves me. The onlookers say, that's a strong Black woman. And this is a phrase that has spun like silk since the beginning of time, but it chokes me. It creates a web of an expectation that I never even agreed to. And I pray, but he still doesn't save me. The grip of life is tightening around my neck and I'm suffocating, trying to save myself from my thoughts. And I just pray him away, and yet and still he does not save me. I guess he don't save nobody who ain't white as snow. I guess he doesn't save Black women. The same God who I prayed to has turned away and left me with prayers unanswered and left me with a faith that has been unfulfilled. And still, I pray. My cries are amplified in the hollow of heaven, where faith fractures and hope becomes haunting. The same God who I pray to paints his skies blue while my world is tinted with shades of sorrow, a canvas of pain that no divine brush has ever touched. And still, I pray. The whispers of my ancestors swirl around me. Their resilience is a rope that I cling to even though it burns. And still I pray. In the shadow of the cross where salvation is supposed to be found, I stand as a silhouette of struggle, and still I pray. Somewhere in the marrow of my bones, I find a fragment of faith, and I still pray. For in the prayers of a black woman there lies a power that no noose can constrain and no God can ignore. Because even when it gets hard, we still pray.
All right.
I'm glad y'all like that one. That one touched my heart. And it's not, I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. I'm not saying that God is not helping or he won't help you if you call, but sometimes when you're waiting on the prayer to be answered, like when I prayed for Kamala and to be president, and that prayer went out the window and I seen who was president the next day, I still prayed. So we still pray. We'll be okay. Amen. This next one is called How Come? How come we only got churches and liquor stores on the block of each hood? Sermons and spirits, faith and fermentation coexisting in a mix of redemption and ruin. The stained glass windows and the neon signs shed the same light, casting shadows of salvation and surrender on cracked pavements where dreams are poured and preached in equal measure. Y'all ever notice how our days are filled with the same cycles? Bourbon and baptism, choir songs and chasers, prayers and pints echoing in the alleyways where hope is as fleeting as a Sunday sermon. And I wonder why we walk these streets of salvation and sin, where the holy and the hedonist hold hands, where the divine and the debauched are just a corner apart.
I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad y'all still with me. Bear with me because I have a lot to say. So now we're going to get into love, my favorite thing to talk about. And even though my boyfriend is here, this is a piece that I wrote when my ex cheated on me. And I was with him for like 4 years. The girl called my phone at 1 a.m. in the morning, like a week before my birthday. It was a whole thing. But I'm okay, and I'm here to tell the story because I wrote about it. See, if you do me wrong, I will turn you into a poem, and I will share the story. That'll open like. Right? Because this is live stream, so somebody's going to hear about what he did. But no, this is called The Recipe for a Breakup Cocktail. Start with the tall glass of silence, the kind that sits heavy in the air, that is thick as fog, the quiet that tastes bitter like something left too long, like the words that went unsaid when they soured. Add a splash of resentment, dark and sharp, stirred up from the bottom where it settled, unnoticed but always there. A taste that prickles at the back of your throat, leaves you swallowing hard, trying to pretend that it tastes sweet. Throw in 2 shots of broken promises and pour slow. Watch them swirl and settle as each one a memory fizzles and you can't shake it. The plans that has flattened out and the words that has faded, the forever that turned into for now without you even noticing the shift. Now, add a twist of jealousy, but just a sliver. A thin slice that cuts like citrus, something that stings but brightens, the reminders of who they looked at and who they laughed with, and a small, sour ache that you thought you could swallow, but it still lingers, sharp and tangy on your tongue. Drop in a few frozen moments, the cold, hard things you tried to ignore, the eye rolls, the heavy sighs, the distance that grew like ice between you, moments that chilled the drink to something almost unbearable. Top it off with a shot of tears, something a little salty, something that slips in when you thought you'd grown immune to tears that fall like melting ice, slowly softening the bitterness but still leaving the burn. And then after you do all of this, you're going to stir it up with a spoonful of regret and swirl it until it's dark and until it's murky, something that tastes like a memory but feels like a headache. The kind of drink that you slip slowly because you know it's not meant to go down easy. And then you take a sip and then you feel a hit. That the breakup cocktail is a mix of everything heavy, everything that hurts. It's a concoction that only a heartbreak could ever craft. Thank And that's my time.
All right.
All right. Give it up for Amaya. If I could just say, the thing that I love most about your poetry is that you have to hear every word of it. It's like if you will, because you are a storyteller and you are captivated by the whole story. And if you get lost in the pop, then we miss something that was vital to the story. So I think sometimes you say, are we with you? We were with you every single word because we wanted to hear the story from beginning to end. Amazing storyteller. Amazing storyteller. My goodness. My goodness.
Soothing voice.
Yes. Yes. I'm like, could you put that on record?
Right.
So I can lick the corners of your mind. Are we having a good time tonight? Yeah. Do we love poetry? Do we love poetry? All of the different things, the creative spaces that we've heard, the real life journey. Come on, man. This is real life journey that we are going through, that we're experiencing. And thank you for sharing your. I journal too, and that's how I got into poetry too, because I had a lot to say as a child that I could not say. Nobody would listen, but those pages listen, and they never forget. And you can read, and you can. There's something that your poem made me think of is that I was in a car and I was having a conversation with God, and I was repeating a theme again, and I was like, oh, why am I repeating this again? And I played the blame game with God, and I was like, God, why did you send him to earth? It's like, if you didn't send him to earth, then I wouldn't be caught up in this web of sin. And I remember driving to work and I was crying. And this is one of my favorite pieces to a poem because it talks about my journey and an actual conversation that I was having. But I said to God in that car, if I can remember, how do I flee an enemy whose presence I do not want to resist? Its pressure is satisfying to the flesh that desires it to persist. Because you are my God and are truly in the midst. You are present within my prison where such chains exist. There were moments where I struggled to even repent. I begrudged you for the enemy your eviction sent, whose landing created a valley on an earth that knew no hills, as paradise without tribulation seemed to be your original will. Sometimes I feel like I stepped in a fiery furnace and was burned while wrestling with the evicted one who has a fire I've come to yearn. And that was just me just crying out to God like, I want to change this thing that you tell me is wrong, but I like that thing. And I'm struggling with that thing, so thank you for your story, God. I appreciate you. All right. All right. Are we ready for our next featured artist?
Yes.
All right, so get ready for a performer who can stir the soul with the rhythm of their words and the depth of their insight. Please, please, please join me in welcoming Sean. Like the bougie part, we want to say just that. Jesse.
Appreciate you, man.
Come on, just that.
Kentucky boys back, man. Been here 5 months.
All right.
Appreciate y'all for having me again. 4 poems, man. You guys know Jordan Peele?
Yeah.
All right, familiar with his movies and things like that? All right, so this is called Note. Complain about my back hurting, but I remember praying for physical pain instead of the mental. If I wake up at 7, just to wait till 11, I thought that meant keeping the plan simple. Real friends reach out, so I do the same. I have to realize that not everybody showcases their heart like I do. Therefore, the demeanor changed. More energy needs to be placed in some self-elevation. Self-love doesn't come until we learn grace and patience. But who's teaching that? Nobody. Because it's easier to be undisciplined than it is to ask for help. The internet is ruining men that don't even understand what it means to work on themselves. When you're alone, there's not much of a choice. Comparing your story to everyone else's just robs you of the joy. I remember the ACL tear. I remember thinking I lost my powers because Daddy wasn't there. Many didn't understand what weight it held until I got older. Stopped wearing a mask to show something real, but all my friends think every day is the 31st of October. Fighting scary sights away with how well I understand the things I can't. Still stressing over situations I don't have control over because it wasn't in the plans. But that's what builds character, the ability to adjust. You get out and start saying no for a change, then you're left with just us.
All right.
I actually wrote this one the other day. I've been trying to write more positive things, and for poets, you guys know that's difficult. All right, this is called Traffic. Today, I let a guy pull out in front of me in a line of traffic. A simple smile and head nod to lead the way. Impatience is a villain that the heroes hold captive, and right here is where I begin to understand if it benefits them, they'll listen to what I have to say. A stranger on his journey, but a small portion of me gets added to his book. If you excel at reading the room, every micro ounce of acknowledgement changes your outlook. I remember making PowerPoints in middle school of everything I dreamed of. Now the dreams fill stanzas, and my family asks why I don't sleep enough. If my words aren't a cape to you, then I hope there's nothing around your neck that keeps you from speaking. If my words aren't a cape to you, then I hope every bit of pain that you hide gets found when the insecurities start peaking. Who am I if I don't allow room for others to confide in me? Would you listen to my advice if I told you how much time I spent crying silently? I'm a big Mac Miller guy. He's actually my favorite artist, and I listen to a lot of music, so I wanted to implement some of what he does into this. So this is called Good News. My family wants me calling with good news, but I don't know the meaning of that outside of Mac. They don't like when I'm down, and unfortunately, I already knew that. Good news, good news, good news, that's all they want to hear. But when I mention the things that force me to spiral, I can't get near. Conversation quality at an all-time low. Maybe I should try therapy again, or some different friends. But for years, this poetry has been both, which doesn't make things easier to let go. Every altering situation holds weight in my world because I somehow have to find a future in this mess. But the only thing I know how to do is disassociate and put Malcolm on when I feel overstimulated with stress. I'm reminded that nobody sees things through my perspective, and that shit's lonely. Told to get over it by putting a smile on my face to a bunch of strangers that don't care to know me. So many things I haven't learned, and I have to get smacked in the face with every unit. Sometimes I wish I was back in culinary, making top 10 lists of an artist's best music. I sit back and see how much everyone is struggling, but just drowning in their vices. And I do the same. So when I start swerving through these lines, some pastures will see I'm the nicest. Weekly poetry because I'm trying to use and learn to love my voice. If I understand that everybody's got to live and die, all these hand-me-downs would always mean something if it was my choice. Alright, this is the last one. Like I said, I've been trying to write more positive stuff. I deal with a lot of trauma, but it's a celebration today, alright? We're celebrating Buddy over here, and upbeat, alright? So this is called Beauty After Rain. Pretty places can change a perspective. Pretty faces can change the objective. But what do we say about a pretty voice, though? Kentucky boy's accent is cute, so I'm trying to show you these voice notes. Looking for bright spots in life when I feel low. Perception got me getting butterflies hearing my name said by pretty Russian women I don't know. Sometimes it's easier to show love to strangers in our head. Sometimes I like to take pictures of how the horizon looks during the sunset. Picking a song to fit the vibe. Sitting in silence to write about green or brown eyes. While hoping someone looks into mine. Thinking that the family nickname is the epitome of what inspires me the most. If the sunshine ran out, tell them to put 2012 on the aux court and Jay Sean and Nicki Minaj can raise a toast. Life is beautiful in the dark times. You just gotta find the outlet with a source of hope. Reminders of the details in the park lines. Cherishing how these pickup games brought us close. Finding my teammates with dimes and getting 3 points off a pick and pop with Zay. Figuring out to write positive, sometimes you gotta wait for the rain delay. Adjusting regardless of the weather. When it rains, I forget my umbrella on purpose. The other day I picked up a rose off the road and was reminded that having no rain eventually hurts us.
Come on, man. I like that line. I'm going to use that tonight. I'm going to look my wife in her eyes and say, babe, I'm trying to give you these voice notes. While I lick the corners of your mouth. All right. Our final poet of the night will resonate with you long after the night ends. A poet who moves you with every word, turning each line into a profound reflection of life's deepest truth. She know I'm talking about it. She done stood up in her good black dress with a little bit of lace on it. All right, let's give a huge round of applause to my sister, Marissa G.
He don't listen. I told him to help me up.
I'm so sorry.
He wanted to see something on the internet. Give me a second, guys. I just want to say that every single one of you all who have touched the mic tonight and gave us your art form, such a blessing.
Yes.
Such a blessing to hear. I've been writing since I was in 5th grade. And so when you write so much, because I talk so much, and now I get paid to do it.
Come on, man.
Told me to shut up. But it gives you something or someone to understand you when no one understands you. And so as I start off every show, I thank God for this imperfect being that stands before you. I thank him for his grace. I thank him for allowing me to get down to this place. I thank you all for this space. So I'll give you what I have off my lyrical plate. I am Marissa G.
Come on.
All right. So, as you said, we write stories when people do things. I wrote an album, recorded it. He can listen to it over and over. And so you get to a point where you understand that this thing is over. And you know it, and he know it, but you still can't let go. And it's like you waiting to see who gonna say it's over with. Lauren has this song, X Factor, one of my favorite songs, and she says these lines, and I'm gonna try to do a little bit of it. She says, and when I try to walk away, you hurry yourself to make me stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. But I keep letting you back in. So how can I explain myself? Sometimes I wish I could hug away the pain and kiss away the anger, but that's how I became affected. Two-gun hold on being the hero in your life, you became like Haran to me. Addicted and weak, yet I still wanted to be your protection, but every time we touch, we became more affected. The outer looks healthy, so no one suspects it, so we live life defective. Bruised egos and heads made of steel, you're so concentrated on the image you portray while I wait for time to heal. All the broken promises that you couldn't fulfill, I beckoned to lay at your heart and intermingle with your soul. But all I saw was a person with no sense of control because the walls were closing in. And all that was left was the scent that was but never did. I lied and waited for that next hit, which was never enough to fix this itch. And every time I say that I was going to walk away, lies were elevated, bait was bitten, and the exit was now the entrance rewritten. Some say you have to get over it. That was wrote on my past that created memories to my heart. But while I lied and I see you, you continue to live on, no room to let you go, because I refuse to let you go. So I was screaming, you try to make me go to rehab. But I say no, no, no. You try to make me go to rehab. But I won't go. So I can stand in a room full of bruised hearts and egos saying, hello, 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 hello. I have an addiction. Me? I have an addiction that's left me on limited prescriptions because he's been prescribed to someone else. And I'm on empty. I have nothing left but half breaths, short steps, and a map with no sense of direction. No yellow brick road, no great and powerful Wizard of Oz but me. I'm Tin Woman. Without a brain, I'm a lioness untamed. Saturated in shame, and I'm wondering who's to blame because you said you would
care for me, care for me. You said you'll be there for me, there for me. You even said you would die for me, die for me. Why couldn't you live so we could be? Thank you. Come on, man. And so when you begin to, this was on my first track, which is Road to Recovery. I'm on all musical platforms. Check me out. Just listen to it and give me some spins, please. But I'm going to give you some new stuff tonight. I'm working on my second album, which is Road to Recovery 3 and 4. And I had a person ask me, how many Road to Recoveries is going to be till I'm recovered? So oftentimes we believe we are healed. And we'll step out there in our new heel shoes and begin to preach about healing, and then before you know, you right back in that residue. Because you wasn't quite ready. And you get a little bit excited about your healing, and you want to tell people, and a lot of times people don't really want to hear about the healed you. See, they like the old you. And reintroducing yourself to the new you is kind of hard, because now they got to get to know somebody else. And a lot of people are stagnant in their ways. And so you have to be cautious on who you allow in your space as you're healing, because you're sensitive to the spirit. So that's just a little bit. As I was talking to God one night, I began to say, like, love is like this tango. It's like a back and forth thing, God. And why are we constantly doing this? Because if you said you wanted love and I said that I wanted love, why can't we get this thing right? And these are the words that he gave to me. Someone once told me that the dance of love is the tango. Yet it involves letting one lead and one must follow. Deciding on who would lead and who will follow has always been tough for me, because I have a hard head and big feet. Yet I finally have a partner who is big and bold enough to handle what seems to roar like a lioness, yet is soft as a lamb. I learned to stop acting and just be who I am. My weakness has become his passion and shown me that's when I'm strong. And usually when I feel the most liberated, I'm dead wrong. So as I dance to the melody that plays softly in my ear, I'm speechless when I find out it's not a record being played, but it's his heart that I hear. The words that I long to say to him are poured out in my tears, and his answers are spoken back to me crystal clear. And at that moment, I'm captured by the beauty and the innocence of this dance. No thoughts of past failures or misunderstood romance, but the softness of his touch, the strength in his arms, the purity and the love that is overflowing makes me smile and keeps me glowing. My burdens are put to rest as I lay my head on his chest, as he and I do the tango. Lord, please continue to lead me as I shall follow. And I'm going to leave y'all with one more. And this is one I'm working on, but I'm getting ready to record. Thank you all for allowing me to close out the show. And thank you all for allowing me to be on the mic. And give me 1 second. If I can find it. Are we supposed to be doing this one, Lord? But sometimes it makes me not find something you don't want me to do. It's not right. And it don't tonight. So as I was saying earlier, we tend to want to go tell everybody about our healing. And God, you know, I love me some Erykah Badu. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some Erykah Badu. And this kind of mimics a little bit of her. And the word said, I can't entertain you, 'cause the last one drove me insane. I can't entertain you, 'cause my actions have left me drained. I can't entertain you. Had me trying to remember my name. I can't entertain you. This love thing had me in pain. I saw you come in, bright eyes and bushy tail, and I was like, hell, please don't be coming for me. Because I'm taking a break from intermingling, and yes, I'm single, not plural, no forecast of a +1. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I had lost, I had won, and the prize was me.
As I naively basked in my recovery, here's some self-discovery, or as we like to call it, truth. I had dipped my toes in healing, but hadn't gotten to the root. Bathed me in progress, but still looking for progression. So basically, I was still enrolled in the school of hard knocks, but hadn't completely learned the lesson. Because here comes the confession. The enemy still lusted for attention. Working overtime to save others while receiving no pension. Building false walls and fences, tongue laced with repentance, all while bandaging this pain. So my love is not you, I just want to refrain from the strain. So I can't entertain you, 'cause the last one left me sore. I can't entertain you, I have nothing to pour. I can't entertain you, so don't ask me no more. I can't entertain you, 'cause love shouldn't feel like a chore. Now hear me out. I'm not here to place the blame. Don't believe that men are all the same. I just don't want to let go of me, because I almost lost her in these streets trying to be something that I wasn't called to be. Excusing poor behaviors, doing more than the most, calling it a favor when the return yielded no fruit, because it was planted on false ground. So I must be sound and level-headed that this discouragement won't lead to my conversion, maybe not your part, but definitely for me. So I adopted this new verbiage called accountability. So no, I can't even entertain the notion, because I'm guilty of drinking the potion, which leaves me stagnant and stuck in my emotions. So excuse me for not wanting to get caught up in your emotion. So basically you bitter and you blame man for all of your actions. No, I apologize if that's what you heard, but let me make this clear. I stopped being the prey and started praying. Learn to get quiet and hear what God was saying. That you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and everything that designed for you doesn't have to come at the price of strife. So you giving me sweet nothings don't suffice to what's already mine. So let's not waste each other's time. Because let's not waste each other's time, because I wouldn't be giving you what was refined, but what was mending and being restored. And that broken version of me, I don't want to give out anymore. So as he refills me and heals me to one day reveal me for myself and my mate, I'll stand in all of his promises and simply wait. So I can't entertain you, so get away from my door. God bless y'all.
She said, get away from my door. Get away from my door. Can I just say this? This is my first opportunity to host. I've never hosted anything in my life. So Mr. Coleman, thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you for this opportunity. I really, really, truly appreciate it. Thank everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think the thing that unites us all, the beauty about what unites us all is our words and our gifts. And one thing about us and all the makeup of those gifts is that one thing that you said tonight, Miss, I'm in my mind, is that you're not like us, but you are us. Yeah, and I hope that we prove that tonight, because you prove yourself to be a part of the us. You are a poet, you are a phenomenal poet, and all of us are phenomenal poets. We are gifted, and we should be so honored to be able to utilize our gifts and our stories to uplift, to encourage everybody. Oh my God. The stories that we heard tonight, is phenomenal from every artist. So thank you all for coming out, and let me get back on script. All right, so you have seen all of the beautiful art tonight. You have seen the beautiful sculptures. You've been in the front and you've been in the back. So before I bring this brother up who created this platform for us all, and might I say for free, come on now. So before he comes up here, if you would just do me a favor and let your feet hit the floor. Come on, somebody. Okay. Maybe I should have redid that because that's not what I meant. I don't know where y'all think y'all is. Stand on up. And please give this dynamic brother a round of applause. He is the artist behind these incredible paintings and the visionary creator of LMNT Poetry and the Kre8ive Shop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Davion Dismaklama Coleman.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you all for coming. I'm a little short, so I gotta thank you all for coming.
Hey, you got that on.
Well, you know, I try.
I'm trying to get them shoes from you, brother.
So, I appreciate everybody for coming. Today was an interesting night. We was a little short-staffed, so I've been doing a lot of running around more than usual. Had some challenges, like, I don't know if y'all noticed, the pyro went out. Did y'all see that?
No, we was chilling.
That's good. I got it back on real quick. So, I'm happy about that. So, I'm on stage. I just wanted to touch on a few things. One, the LMNT Poetry, the direction that I'm planning to take this. Also, the 10-year anniversary of the Kre8ive Shop. And lastly, my next creative journey. So, starting with LMNT Poetry, this began in September as a collaborative effort with my art exhibition in a mirror section. So, next year, we're planning to double the amount of events. So I'm looking to do 7 to 10. Currently, we're on pace to do 5. We have another one next month. So that'll be the 5th one. This is the 4th one, obviously, if you count it right. So I'm looking to double that, and hopefully you all can come out and continue this, building this. Nextly is the Kre8ive Shop. 10 years in. It's probably more than 10 years, but I started keeping track around 2014. So that's where we come into the toast, celebrating the next journey, celebrating the continuous growth. Everybody in here are supporters, repeat performers, people that's been down with me since day one. And I'm all grateful to have you all here with me. Lastly is the next creative journey that I'm taking. When I said I had this special announcement, a lot of people have been going a little crazy, assuming stuff. Am I getting married? Is it a baby coming? Am I moving? I'm leaving the country. People saying I'm going back to Africa. I got property in Ghana. All of that is wrong. All of that is wrong. The next creative journey is a new art residency that I'm going to move forward with. And the irony of it is I'm going to a place that I never really considered, never really paid too much attention to. And that country is Honduras. So we're going to be kicking it off at the end of the year when I begin my journey there. I'm going to be working on something completely different than what people have seen me work on. It's not sculptures, it's not painting. I'm going to be focused on photography. And I'm going to be working an aspect that is non-traditional. It's a form of photography and printmaking, and I'm merging those elements together. So that's going to take a long time. As you may or not be aware, my journey to Kenya was 3 or 4 years. So creating the artwork, that was about 2 years. Getting there was another 2 years. So I am very thankful to have you all here, and I look forward to sharing this new artistic journey with you. Definitely come in 2026. So, if we all can raise our glasses. As you can tell, my drink is different. So, if we all can raise our glasses and give a toast to the celebration of life, new journeys, new beginnings, and new opportunities. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So I will be turning the mic back over to our great host. We're going to take a group picture, and then we are going to spin the wheel.
Yes.
All right. All right, give another round of applause for Davion. We appreciate you allowing us to be in on your journey, so we appreciate you so much for that. All right, so as Davion mentioned, we were going to spin this, and we're going to call out our raffle winner. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now this would be the perfect opportunity for you to do the foot thing. That's me, my drum roll. All right. All right, drum roll, please. I'm not gonna look. All right, and the winning number is 61.
Yes!
All right. You can claim your prize here at the bar. Again, 2 wonderful reprints and also a mystery bag with some goodies in it. All right. All right, so did we have a good time tonight?
Yeah!
All right, so give yourselves a round of applause.
All right.
And my little plug is that I'm a poet, I'm also an author. I am author of 6, thank you, babe. 6 books. This is my latest book called The Complicated Reflections of Him, and it is available pretty much on any online platform. It is a book, as I mentioned, a lot of the poems that you heard me do tonight are in this book, and it is a book about trauma, male trauma, childhood trauma, sometimes growing up with stuff and not knowing how to get rid of that stuff. So we act it out, and sometimes we get healed from it. So this book is very dear to my heart, and it's called The Complicated Reflections of Him. God bless you all. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I'm Jeremy C. Watson. We're going to take a group picture in just a second, too, and then we'll end the night. All right?